Hey. I had promised myself that I was going to shoot at least 2 videos today because for the past 2 days I was not able to shoot a video. I was mega busy. Today is the 9th of August, and in this month of August, I am committed to improving on my speaking skills and raising the bar on my camera confidence. And so that is why I'm shooting these videos. It is likely that I will not shoot these videos until these 31 days are over, that I will not post them, right? I will not make them public until these 31 days are over. But whenever you watch it, please be kind enough to send me a feedback. I would like to have it. I would love it. I would really deeply appreciate it, because to me, this is very crucial. Right now, I want to talk about identity crisis. Most of the problems that human beings face stem from the fact that they have a misconstrued identity. And what do I mean by that? Personally, I went through a lot of identity issues. And so it occurred to me that maybe some other people are suffering from the same defect as I was. I wouldn't say that I completely know who I am now, but I think I am on the path of self-discovery, and I'm making the most that I can to catch up from all the lost time, all the opportunities that I left laying fallow on the table. When I was born, my father named me Mary Therese Manka Angwa. When I went to nursery school, I added 2 names to those. Why? Because those are the names. Some of those names I was called by some of those names at home. So instead of introducing myself in the nursery school as Mary Therese Manka Angwa, I would introduce myself as Mary Therese Manka Sifu Afaningwa. Now, Sifu was to differentiate what side of the family the Manka came from, because my family, my mother's family, they would bear Sisu, and my father's family would bear Sifu. So Sifu simply means that the name Manka came from my father's side, while Afani was given to me because I was born almost 3 weeks before my twin cousins were born. And so by tradition and by traditional belief, I was expected to have a twin name, and so my grandmother named me Afani. However, just 4 names were in my birth certificate. Now, when I got into primary school, class 6 precisely, everybody around called me Marie. But when I got to class 6, my father called me and told me that, look, guy, your name is not Marie, your name is Mary. And so when you go to fill in your forms for the common entrance and first school, what you will write would be Mary Therese Manka Angwa. Can you believe that? All through primary school, I've been writing my name Marie Therese Ngwa, Marie Therese Manka Angwa. So I did that. But then when I went to college, of course, the people with whom I was in Form 1 to Form 5, they were mostly people with whom I was in the primary school, or at least people whom I'd known before. And of course, I'd always known myself as Marie, and so they kept calling me Marie. But towards the GC, of course, I was reminded, and I wrote my name the way it is officially on my documents. When eventually I went to Nigeria, Nigerians, they would love to, by their culture, I think it's a cultural thing, the surname comes before. They cannot call me Mary. Mary, of course, cannot be my family name. I'm not a British. I'm not from the West. So they reverted my names to Ngwa. And because they like using abbreviations, my name was Ngwa. MTM. Ngwa. MTM. And MTM stands for Mary Therese Manka. But now there was an issue. Marie is a French name, and that is what everybody called me at the time. And so because Nigerians were not very familiar with that name, some people called me Maria, some people called me Marine. Now, why am I bringing up this story? It's an issue. I'm talking about identity crisis. Some people simply do not know who they are, because when they were born, they picked up attributes from their family, from their neighborhood, from their friends, from their schools. Just like my name changed, that is how they pick up different values, different beliefs, different attributes, different character traits. And at one point, they really, really wonder who they are. And so you find people doing things which are simply not aligned with who they should really be, simply because they do have an identity crisis. I know that this is quite shallow, but someday I am going to dive deeper into how to manage identity crisis if you find yourself in such a situation. In the meantime, have a wonderful evening. God bless you, and ciao.